Hey guys, Jamie here. So today I'm just going to share with you. So I had mentioned in another video recently that if you've seen it, that I put myself through like a month of torture of, not torture, that's a bad word. I put myself through a month of watching like a lot of horrible news, probably over a month actually, every day. And I was totally consumed with this news, and it really put me in a fearful state, um, like for the whole entire month. And essentially, that stresses out the body. Okay, when you do that, and it stresses it out, it puts you in a fight or flight, which means you're constantly releasing adrenaline. And I did that for, like I said, just over a month, and I really felt the effects of doing that. I really did, even with my current lifestyle, eating high carb. I still felt the effects of that continuous stress, and it's not wise to do that to yourself when there's already stressors in everyday life already, and then to add something like that was just kind of really silly. I'm not saying not to ever consume news, but there does have to be a balance, guys. Like, there really does. I was doing it every day, multiple times a day, keeping me in this state. So I definitely felt the effects of all that adrenaline constantly flooding through me for a month. And like I mentioned before, I have had water retention, digestive issues. And like when you have a lot of adrenaline being released, that really messes with your digestion, and it will 100% mess up your adrenals and can cause water weight or even actual weight gain. And also too, it just lowered my mood. Okay, it lowered my mood, just kind of being fearful about the future. And yeah, it just wasn't wise. I'm really pissed that I did that to myself, and it just drained vital energy and life force from myself, which is not a wise thing to do. If anything, in the world that we live in, the times that we're living in, you really need to preserve that to keep yourself strong. And I know better. Like, I know better, and I just can't believe I did it. But anyways, and so I experienced those symptoms, but then also too, like, I experienced an issue with my hair. My hair felt like it was weakening and kind of like breaking off. And I had mentioned before, I had adrenal fatigue like 8 years ago. Not diagnosed, but I had every symptom. I know I had it. And one of the big ones was my hair just became very weak. The texture changed, and it just started breaking off. That's a good sign. Not just like coming out like in whole chunks, that are like in whole pieces, but when your hair is breaking off, that tells you that it's weak. And I don't dye my hair. I don't use product on my hair, so my hair's not ever weakened because of bleaching or product. I don't use anything. I just use an all natural shampoo and conditioner, and that is literally it. So it's not because of that. So that's a clear sign that your hair, you could have an adrenal problem, or just you're releasing too much adrenaline. Okay, is when it starts to affect your hair. And I noticed that in the last month, just breaking off, and I was like, oh my God, okay. So I was just so pissed at myself that I did this to myself. But so what I've decided to do after I declined my health for no reason for a month is I'm going to do things to kind of, get back to where I was. And to do that, to kind of speed up the healing process, I have medical medium books, and he has a book where it's called Life Changing Foods, which is an incredible book, and it goes through all the fruits and vegetables and the power of each one of them, what it does for the human body, and then it lists all the conditions and symptoms that it is good for. Okay, and it also tells you how it helps you emotionally, mentally, and also spiritually. So I love this book, and so I just started reading it to find out, to get rid of that water weight, to fix my digestion. Like, my digestion isn't like messed up from it. It just wasn't as good as it normally is. But yeah, so I was looking up foods to fix the water weight, the digestion, and for hair, like weakened hair, hair loss, and also for like adrenal fatigue. And so for the next month, I've been doing this for 5 days already. I'm going to be including these foods every single day. And so you have to choose these specific foods for whatever problem you have. And then you're supposed to eat them every single day to see the most effect and the quickest. And you have to eat them in larger quantities. So I've been doing this for 5 days already, and I'm going to be doing it for a month. And the foods that I picked that I'm going to be adding to my current diet is sweet potatoes, which I've had every day for the last 5 days. And I love potatoes, and I can eat potatoes every day. But sweet potatoes, after a while, I do love them, but every day you start to get kind of sick of them a little bit. I do anyways. And that's really good for regulating hair growth and for strengthening your hair. It's also good for if you have adrenal fatigue. And sweet potatoes are great for a lot of things, actually. I think PTSD was another one because there's so much glucose in it. So I'm having sweet potatoes every day. And what I will say is my sleep, oh my God, you eat sweet potatoes. I've been eating like 2. Oh my God, the sleep quality is just super, super deep. Like, oh my God, that's one of the first things I noticed. So that was specifically though for the hair, and it's supposed to actually help with taking off the water weight as well. And then wild blueberries. I do have wild blueberries, but I'm not consistent with having them every single day and in large quantities. So I'm having wild blueberries every single day, like 2 cups a day. And wild blueberries, he says, are like a miracle food. Like if you wild blueberries eaten every day and in large quantities will literally help with healing any symptom or condition. He says it's literally the top food on like the planet, I think, to be consuming. So it's really good for anti-aging, and I mean it's good for like everything. But I'm using that again for my hair, again for the anti-aging effect, and it's supposed to help, like, you know, shed the water weight. Again, it's good for everything, but these are just specific to what I want them for right now. And then celery juice. This is something else that I'll have once in a while. I always have green juice, but it's celery juice in particular he raves about. Basically, again, it's kind of like wild blueberries. It's like a superstar when it comes to healing almost any condition or symptom. So I'm going to be having 16 ounces at a minimum every single day. That's supposed to help with hair and hair growth, and also for digestion, big time. And one thing about celery juice, because it has all these mineral salts attached to it, it keeps you very calm. Very calm, which is really what I needed after a whole month of working myself up unnecessarily. But, and what else? Is there another one? Maybe that was it. Celery juice, wild blueberries, and sweet potatoes. Oh, and I wanted to do pomegranates because he said pomegranates are one of the best foods for hair growth and having strong hair and hair follicles. But I used to be able to get frozen pomegranates bagged, and I couldn't find them, so I can't get that one, which I was disappointed about. But yeah, so I think maybe that's it. Maybe am I missing one? But anyways, I'm adding these and I'm doing them every single day for a whole month just to see any of the changes in effect. And again, you have to have them in higher quantities. Oh, he recommended romaine or spinach, and I already eat a pound of spinach every day. But he says if you've really been producing a lot of adrenaline and kind of weakening your adrenals, he said the more greens the better because it has all the mineral salts attached to it. So I'm going to be upping my spinach or else getting in some romaine. So maybe like another, maybe like another 4 to 5 cups. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to be doing that for the next month, and we'll see. I'll kind of report back and see the benefits or any changes that I notice from implementing these foods every day. And I think that book is a fantastic book, guys, if you haven't read it. And again, no matter what your lifestyle is, whatever you eat, it just shows you what these fruits and vegetables do for the human body, how they heal symptoms and conditions, and how they're good for your emotional health and spiritual health. And I just think it's an amazing, absolutely amazing book to have on hand. All of his books are amazing. Like literally all of them, but I love that one. But yeah, but anyways, guys, that's my video for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll be back again for another video. Thanks, guys. Bye.